Good afternoon, everyone. We are the BPE 4B students. So today we are going to discuss some areas related to the role of the Philippine laws and public policy, which are the leadership and management, future public policy, and towards the fulfillment of the UN SDG or the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Shoni Linares. I will be discussing about the leadership, and also we have here Miss Ladao. She will be discussing about the management, and Miss Madel Pabilik. She will be discussing about the future public policy, and also Mr. Jade Kent Lago. He will be discussing about the fulfillment of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and the last is Mr. Mark Macabinlar. He will be discussing about the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So, it is important not just to know but also to understand what is leadership and management and how these two differ. But in this lesson, we're expected that everyone must explain leadership characteristic of a leader. And when you heard about the leadership, what is the first will come in your mind? Or what is your idea? I know we heard this many times, but can you explain what is this mean? So for me, leadership, basically it is how you lead a group of people or an organization. So leadership in definition, it is the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal. So, as a leader, you're not just to tell your people on what they are going to do, but also to motivate them and to encourage so that whatever your desire in your organization will be met or achieved. So, what would be the skill to obtain to leadership? If you want to become leader someday, or by chance you will become a leader, for to be effective, you must have this ability to communicate well. So in all organization, one of the most important tool is communication. Why is it important? Because it enables us to pass information to other people and to understand what your leader wants you to do. Or let us say, it is the transferring information from one place to another. And another leadership skill is to motivate their team, handle responsibilities, listen to feedback, and having flexible in character. So, how do you get a leadership attitude? So first is positive communication. So this attitude would have to be one of the biggest influence in the workplace. So as a leader, you need to be a skilled communicator in countless relationships at the organizational level and communicate in communities and groups in order to achieve results through others. And second is gratitude. So as a leader, who takes the time to acknowledge the hard work of their staff in going to build and trust-based team. And the third one is unite the team. So as a leader, the cohesivity of your team relies on your actions and guidance. With a proactive approach, you can build a strong team aligned towards common goals, who produce exceptional results and enjoy the work they do. And the fourth one is take responsibility. So it is important as a leader not only to lead people, but also you need to be observant to the surroundings so that to so that you learn what is their mistakes. And also it is a way of protecting your team or group if some of your members will make mistakes. And the fifth one is empower and develop others. So, as a leader, always give good feedback to your team for all kinds of accomplishment. Feedback that will encourage your team and always give direction to your team in order to have progress and will reach the desired goals. And the last is show empathy. So, as a good leader, always consider team due to lack of knowledge. Understand every individual because no one is perfect. Leader must know the capacity and ability to his or her people, especially in an organization, so that all of you will be successful. And point to remember of leadership. So, importance of good leadership is to help people grow within the organization. They willingly share what they know and look out for learning opportunities for the people they work with or the people who work for them. They build up the team and foster strong relationships, rapports, and cooperations within that team. So let's proceed to management to be reported by Ms. Ladau.
Okay. So let's proceed to management. Management, it is a process of planning, decision making, organizing, leading, motivation, and controlling the human resources, financial, physical, and information resources of an organization to reach its goals effectively and efficiently. Management in environment is a purposeful activity with the goal to maintain and improve the state of an environmental resources affected by human activity. The aim of environmental management is to ensure that ecosystem services and biodiversity are protected and maintained for equitable use by human generations. Environmental management tries to identify the factors that have a state in conflicts that may rise between meeting the needs but protecting the environment. There are 5 characteristics of management. First, management is a continued process. All the functions of management are performed continuously, for example, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. The second is management is a group activity. It refers to a group of people involved in managerial activity. Third, management is a dynamic function. Management has to make changes in goals, objectives, and other activity according to changes taking place in the environment. Fourth, compos composite ano sana? Composite process. Management consists of series of functions which must be performed in a proper sequence. Fifth, balancing effectiveness and efficiency. It means achieving targets and objectives on time. It refers to optimum or best utilization of resources. Multi Sixth, multidimensional. Management does not mean one single activity. It includes management of work, management of people, and management of operation. The importance of management: it helps in achieving group goals. It arranges the factors of production, assembles and organize the resources, integrate the resources in effective manner to achieve goals. It creates also teamwork and motivate employees to work harder and better by providing necessary guidance, counseling, and effective leadership. So, ang management ko no, management is ang pagdumala. So, pagdumala mo sa pagdumala sa usa ka organisasyon. Kung kuan siya, kung kini siya usa ka negosyo or a non-profit nga organisasyon sa usa ka gobyerno o ang style pud niya sa pagdumala o sa iyang tinguha sa iyang kuan. So, an example of management is the kuan like sa CEO sa usa ka organization, usa ka person nga siya bali ang kuan siya ang mag-handle sa direct business or other enterprises. So, mao to. Let's proceed to Miss Madel Tabilik.
My top my, my topic is about future public policy. Public policy is best described as the broad area of government laws, regulations, court decisions, and local ordinance. There are three types of public policy. Number one is restrictive policy. Restrictive policy is a permissive policy describe conditions under which transmission is allowed, and restrictive policies describe conditions under which transmission is not allowed. Example is when the government imposes or composes duties. It is a kind of policy that legally implemented and agreed by the government and people describing conditions. Number two, regulatory policy is about achieving government's objectives through the use of regulation, laws, and other instruments to deliver better economic and social outcomes and thus enhance the life of citizens. Example, a citizens and business example, banking, insurance, and other financial business safety, environmental impact, minimum wages. It refers to obtain government's goals by using regulating rules or laws and other tools to express the best solutions, especially the life of individuals, business, social, and economic consequence. Number three, facilitating policies. The government often has many banks, institutions, etc. that facilitate and grow businesses in economy. These bodies help implement policies to facilitate business, hence facilitating policies. Example, government policies that impact spending for welfare, public education, highways, and public safety, or a professional organization benefits plan. It's the way or process to make a business become successful and for economic improvement. Public policy. Public policy is a method or processing to remain the government order or system by following the laws and policies for the peace and nice future of every individuals and all people. How public policy is important. As public policy implemented and agreed by the government and people, so it can help and it's useful in terms of making plan for the programs and improvement of municipalities, societies, and others. Public policy is very, very important in a sense that some people knows the real happenings of a negative issue, especially in politics, and by following the laws and policies, they have a peace of mind and contented themselves. Public policy is a helping factor and considered as, as a steps or guidance in the field of solving problems, especially in how to handle positions in government and to avoid committing violation of laws. And that's all. Let's proceed to the next topic. Mr. Macabinlar.
No,
Ako,
Mr.
sunod.
Lago, Mr.
Ay,
Lago.
Mr. Lago. Mr. Lago.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The next topic is about the United Nations Social Development Goals. So, what is Social Development Goals? United Nations Social Development Goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, and death. Paki-off sa mic. So, the importance of United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. So, the Sustainable Development Goals, it provides worldwide guidance for addressing the global challenges facing the international community. It is about better protection, the natural foundation of life and our planet everywhere and for everyone, and preserving people's opportunity to live in dignity and prosperity across generations. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals aiming to be relevant to all countries, poor, rich, and middle income, to promote prosperity while protecting the environment and talking climate change. They're improving equality to meet the needs of women, children, and disadvantaged populations in particular, so that no one is left behind. So, the question, how important the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? So everyone, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals has a big role of our nations, especially in our country, Philippines. So the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals has goals to provide a worldwide guidance for addressing the global challenge like climate change, inequality, and poverty. Those are the climate change, poverty, and inequality are one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And each of them has different policies, a better policies that maintain a sustainable development goal of the nation. So, ang United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, they aim to be relevant to all countries, not just Philippines, but also the ASEAN member. So they promote prosperity, they improve equality to meet the needs of women, children, and disadvantaged population. So there's a word there that equality. Equal, di ba? So, either you are poor, rich, or middle income, there's an equality among us. Either you are a woman, children, or disadvantaged population, there's an equality so that no one is left behind. So the next topic is about the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and I'll give it the time to Mr. Makabinlar.
What are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals? Number 1, no to poverty. The world aims to reduce global poverty by half eradicate extreme poverty, ensure that all people have access to basic service, and create policy frameworks at all levels of government to support the investment and action that eradicate poverty. Some examples to eradicate poverty is to give a better and quality education for all the students. Like for example, karon kita mga estudyante, maka-access na ta sa higher and free education na programa sa gobyerno. Maka-eskwela ta bisan wala tay kwarta, bisan katong mga pobre, maka-eskwela na og dako kay ni nga tabang para magamay-gamay ang naglisod. Number 2, zero hunger. The Zero Hunger SDG focuses on finding sustainable solution to stop world hunger. The goals of the Zero Hunger initiative are to end hunger and make sure that enough nutrition foods are available to people by 2030. Example, to end zero hunger, we must first give work to those people who are jobless. This is fortunate, it is a big help for them because if they had work, they can buy their food, and this is one step away from zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all age, including a bold commitment to end the epidemics of AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and other communicable diseases 2030. It also aims to achieve universal health coverage and provide access to safe and effective medicines and vaccines for all. Example, ensuring healthy lifestyle and promoting the importance of well-being for all, addressing issues related to vision, cognition, and disability assistance, monitoring factors that affect human health and well-being like air quality and traffic, supporting health promotions and disease prevention through the use of monitoring devices, enabling remote health care. Number 4, quality education. Education is a human right and a force for sustainable development and peace. Education and achievements of ensuring exclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, plays a central role in building sustainable, inclusive, and resilient societies. Example, to access higher and free education for all, give knowledge and life skills so that we can compete globally in terms of education. Number 5, gender equality. Goal 5 aims to eliminate all forms of discrimination and violence against women in the public and private spheres, and to undertake reforms to give women equal rights to economic resources and access to ownership of property. For example, reject chauvinist and racist attitudes. Do not make comments that ridicule LGBTQ community or any others historically marginalized groups. And don't keep quiet and tell them to stop with the chauvinist, racist, homophobic, and transphobic insults. Number 6, clean water sanitation. Focuses on ensuring a clean and stable water supply and effective water sanitation for all people by the year 2030. about 40% of the world's population is affected by a lack of water. Example, protect natural springs, install sand dams, self-sustaining, sterilizing water technology, rehabilitate old wells, build new wells, safe and affordable, and open defecation and provide access to sanitation and hygiene. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. SDG 7 aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy from clean sources such as solar, wind and thermal for all by 2030. Efforts to encourage clean energy have resulted in more global power being generated by renewable sources than fossil fuel. Example, expanding infrastructure and upgrading our technology through science and technology inventions. To provide clean and more efficient energy in all countries will encourage growth and help the environment more productive. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. Matters to gender equality. Women's access to decent work and to incomes not only improves their agency over their own lives, but can also reduce poverty and maternal mortality and improve health, nutrition, and educational outcomes for women and their families. Example, sustainable economic growth, improve resource efficiency in consumption and production. Promote policies to support job creation and growing enterprises. Protect labor rights and promote safe working environments. Number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Investment in infrastructure and innovation are crucial drivers of economic growth and development. Promoting sustainable industries and investing in scientific research and innovation are all important ways to facilitate sustainable development. For example, develop sustainable resilience and exclusive infrastructures. Promote exclusive and sustainable industrialization. Increase access to financial services and markets. Upgrade all industries and infrastructures for sustainability. Number 10, reduce inequality. Reduce inequality. Ensure equal opportunity and reduce inequalities of outcomes, including by eliminating discriminatory laws, policies, and practices, and promoting appropriate legislation, policies, and action in this regard. Example, equal rights for all, no to discrimination, fair treatment for everyone. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Making cities safe and sustainable means ensuring access to safe and affordable housing and upgrading slums settlements. It also involves investment in public transport, creating green public spaces, and improving urban planning and management in a way that is both participatory and exclusive. For example, safe and affordable housing, affordable and sustainable transport systems, exclusive and sustainable urbanization. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. SDG 12 calls for a comprehensive set of action from business policymakers, researchers, and consumers to adapt to sustainable practices. It envisions sustainable production and consumption based on advanced technological capacity, resource efficiency, and reduce global waste. Example, implement the 10-year sustainable consumption and production framework. Sustainable management and use of natural resources. Responsible management of chemicals and waste. Promote sustainable public procurement practices. Number 13, climate action. Sustainable Development Goal 13 urges to take action to combat climate change and its impacts. Climate change is now affecting every country on every continent. Address the needs of developing countries to both adapt to climate change and invest in low carbon development. For example, plant more trees, reuse, reduce, recycle plastic materials, don't throw garbage anywhere, don't throw garbage on the seas, ocean, and etc. Accelerate the transition to electric vehicle and make electric transport the new normal. Number 14, life below water. Conserve and sustainable use the hot oceans, marine resources for sustainable development. To conserve marine ecosystems, the government has undertaken a national plan for the conservation of aquatic ecosystems. Coastal and marine biodiversity protection is a key area of focus for India. Example, reduce marine pollution, protect and restore ecosystem, reduce ocean acidification, sustainable fishing, conserve coastal and marine areas. Number 15, life on land. Land and forests are the foundation of sustainable development. Providing food security and shelter are key to combating climate change. Protecting biodiversity and are home to the indigenous population. For example, conserve and restore terrestrial and freshwater ecosystems. End deforestation and restore degraded forest. End desertification and restore degraded land. Ensure conservation of mountain ecosystems. Protect biodiversity and natural habitats. Number 16. Peace, justice, and strong institution. Goal 16 is dedicated to the promotion of peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. The provision of access to justice for all and building accountability institutions at all levels. Example, reduce violence anywhere. Protect children from abuse, exploitation, trafficking, and violence. Promote the rule of law and ensure equal access to justice. Combat organized crime and illicit financial and arms flows. Develop effective, accountable, and transparent institutions. Number 17, last number. Partnership for the goals. coordinating policies to help developing countries manage their as well as promoting investment for the less developed is vital to achieve sustainable growth and development. Example, mobilize resources to improve domestic revenue collection, implement all development assistance commitments, mobilize financial resources for developing countries, promote a universal trading system under the WTO, increase the export of developing countries. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for explaining about your topic. So, thank you guys for listening. And once again, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay.